where should you be staying on Mykonos Island? Well, you have three options. 1, staying in Mykonos Town, the capital. 2, getting a hotel next to one of the many beaches. Or 3, getting a budget hotel in the suburbs of Mykonos Town, which I usually refer to as the airport area, since the airport is here. The rest of the island is pretty much empty. There are a few hotels here and there, but you're far away from everything, so I don't see why you would go there. Now, very important. If you're looking for a room below 150 euros a night, it's going to be very difficult to find anything in Mykonos Town or near any beach. So the airport area will be your only option, unless you're coming during shoulder season, April, May, and October. These months are much more budget friendly. If you are okay to spend more than 150 a night, then of course I recommend you stay either in Mykonos Town or by the beach, since that's the two things Mykonos is famous for. Mykonos Town has all these super cute whitewashed alleys and tiny churches, and the beaches, well, look, I don't need to say anything, they're absolutely breathtaking. So the big question is, which of those two should you go for? Mykonos Town or a beach hotel? Well, both are great, and as always, it depends on what you're looking for. So let's start with the list of all the pros for staying by the beach. First of all, Mykonos has really gorgeous beaches, and chances are, out of the several islands you're going to visit in Greece, Mykonos will be the one with the best beaches of all. So knowing this, I think it makes a lot of sense to get a hotel by the beach and spend lots of time swimming in those crystal clear waters. Second pro, if you're staying next to one of these 7 beaches on the south coast, you'll also have the water taxi coming by every hour, bringing you to any of the 6 other beaches, which is a very fun and efficient way of discovering the island. So yeah, if you're staying next to one of these 7 beaches, you're actually staying kind of on all 7 beaches at the same time, because it's so easy to get around. Much easier than if you were staying in Mykonos Town. Third pro for staying in a beach hotel, and this is a big one in my opinion, if you're renting a car, which I highly recommend for all the reasons I'm mentioning in that video once it will be out, then staying anywhere outside of Mykonos Town is a must, because parking is very tricky there. The fourth pro of picking a hotel by the beach is that you're avoiding the never-ending crowds you have in Mykonos Town, which of course is heavily impacted by all the cruise ships docked nearby. Some beaches do get very packed as well, mainly the 3 party beaches, but the others are pretty quiet and much more relaxing. Plus, don't forget that there's lots of partying going on in Mykonos Town, meaning lots of loud, drunk people walking back to their hotel in the middle of the night. Now, just so you know, there's a specific neighborhood in Mykonos Town where you don't have all these issues I just mentioned, and I'm explaining all of that in my video on the best hotels in Mykonos Town, which I will link at the end of this one. And the last pro of beach hotels is that not all of them, but some are beachfront hotels, so on the beach, meaning they have their own sunbeds and they're free of charge for all hotel customers. And since sunbeds are at least 50 euros for a set of 2, that's kind of a big deal. Oh, and by the way, in case you didn't know, I'm a tour guide in Athens, so if you want me to show you around, here's my Instagram page. All right, let's look at the pros of staying in Mykonos Town now. Well, first of all, the food. There's way more diversity and quality in Mykonos Town, both street food-wise and restaurants. And all these places are within walking distance of one another, so you can basically walk from your hotel to every single restaurant, which is super convenient. Second pro, you can go for great walks around your hotel in this maze of narrow alleys, discovering all the hidden streets every time you venture outside. So if you're someone who likes to go for short walks, both by day and by night, staying in Mykonos Town will give you some of that, at least much more than a beach hotel. Third pro, partying, of course. If you're looking to have a wild time in Mykonos, then you need to stay in Mykonos Town. Of course, there are the beach clubs as well, but only on specific beaches, and they cost way more, like hundreds or thousands of euros for one night. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, if you're into partying, then I would recommend Mykonos Town instead of the beaches. And another pro is that Mykonos Town is located very close to the ferry port, less than 10 minutes by car. Now, if you're staying in Mykonos for several days, 3, 4, 5 days, this point doesn't really concern you, but if you're only staying for, let's say, one night in Mykonos, and you're using the ferry to come and or leave, then it would definitely make sense for you to stay in Mykonos Town in order to save some valuable time since you're on a tight schedule. So, all in all, what's the best place to stay in Mykonos? well, you might have felt that I lean more on one side than the other. I would stay by the beach, but that's based on the fact that one, I would rent a car, and so I need to be able to park it. And two, I don't care too much about partying. But yeah, with all the pros and cons I just gave you, I guess you know by now roughly what works best for you. So for the best hotels by the beach, it's this one. For the best hotels in Mykonos Town, over there. And for the budget hotels, down here. All right, enjoy. Bye.